I hope that never goes away.
Thank you.
You know, when you're doing this in the
thank
10th year that you're coming back on tour. Obviously, this is your first time.
2 players, 1 court, and a match that could genuinely shift the direction of both their careers. That's what we're getting in Miami. And honestly, if you're sleeping on this round of 16 clash, you're missing one of the most tactically rich matchups of the entire tournament. Karolína Muchová on one side, a player who has quietly been building something special this season. Alexandra Eala on the other, a name that keeps coming up in conversations about the next generation of elite tennis. And the reason this match is so fascinating isn't just about rankings or recent results. It's about 2 completely different philosophies of tennis colliding on a surface that will expose every weakness and reward every strength. Let me set the scene for you. Miami Open, medium-paced hard courts, the kind of surface where the ball sits up just enough to punish you if your positioning is even slightly off. It rewards patience, but it also rewards aggression, if that aggression is intelligent and well-timed. And both of these players, in very different ways, understand that balance, but only one of them has truly mastered it. And that's what this match is really about. Muchová comes into this round of 16 carrying some genuinely impressive numbers. The one that stands out immediately, the one that tells you everything you need to know about where her mindset is right now, is her breakpoint conversion under pressure. She's saving close to 65% of the breakpoints she's faced in this tournament. Think about what that means. When her back is against the wall, when the pressure is at its highest, she's finding a way out almost 2/3 of the time. That's not luck, that's composure. That's a player who has been in enough big moments to know exactly how to slow things down inside her own head and construct a point from a difficult position. And on a service like Miami, where the margins are already tight, that kind of mental strength is just as valuable as any ground stroke. Now let's talk about Eala, because this is where the story gets interesting. Over the last 3 months, she's been on an absolute tear. And the thing driving that rise isn't what most people would immediately point to. It's not raw power, though she certainly has that. It's her court positioning. She has changed the way she receives the ball, stepping inside the baseline, taking it earlier, and flattening out her shots in a way that dramatically cuts down her opponent's reaction time. 6 months ago, she wasn't doing this consistently. Now it's become a weapon, a central part of how she builds points and imposes her game. Her inside-out forehand has become genuinely dangerous, and the way she uses her kick serve out wide on the ad side to open up space for that forehand, that's high-level tennis. She's averaging just under 24 winners per match over her last 2 rounds, which tells you she's playing with real offensive intent. But here's the other number you need to keep in mind: around 18 unforced errors per match. That ratio works, for now. It's aggressive tennis, and the rewards have outweighed the risks. But Muchová is a completely different kind of challenge, and in this matchup, that same ratio could become a real problem. Here's why. Muchová doesn't play like most of the opponents Eala has faced in this tournament. She's not going to stand 2 meters behind the baseline and trade ground strokes. She's going to give you different looks. A low-skidding slice backhand that forces you to adjust. A sudden drop shot when you thought the rally was under control. That's her superpower. And when players start chasing shots they didn't expect, when the rally suddenly changes shape mid-point, unforced errors climb. We saw this exact pattern play out against Camila Osorio earlier in the tournament. Osorio came out swinging, took the first set 6-4, and for a moment it looked like Muchova might be in trouble. But then everything shifted. Muchova started changing spin, mixing in off-pace shots, introducing new angles. Osorio's error count spiked. Her aggressive pattern stopped working because the ball wasn't coming back the way she expected. Muchova took control and never let go. That match is a blueprint for how she'll approach Eala. So the question at the heart of this matchup is simple, but incredibly difficult to execute. Can Eala maintain her aggressive baseline game without becoming predictable? Because the moment she falls into repetitive patterns, the same cross-court exchanges, the same serve plus forehand combinations, Muchova will read it, adapt, and start controlling the match. That's what she does. She reads, absorbs, and then redirects. And the longer the match goes, the better she becomes at it. Let's talk about the rallies, because this is where things get deeply tactical. Muchova is completely comfortable in long exchanges. 8 shots, 10 shots, 12 shots, it doesn't matter. She's not trying to end points quickly. She's trying to create the right opening, and she's patient enough to wait for it. Her forehand doesn't have the heaviest topspin on tour, but it has enough weight to push you behind the baseline, especially on Miami's higher bounce. And once you're back there, defending instead of attacking, she starts opening up the court, pulling you wide, creating sharp angles, then hitting behind you as you recover. It's subtle, it's intelligent, and by the time you realize what's happening, you're already on the back foot. Eala, by contrast, is at her best in the first 4 shots of a rally. Serve, return, first strike, second strike. That's her window. That's when she's most dangerous, dictating pace, taking control, playing on her terms. If she can keep points short and sharp, she takes away Muchova's ability to settle into those longer exchanges. But if rallies extend, if Muchova absorbs that early pressure and resets, then we're playing a very different kind of match, one that increasingly favors the Czech player. Movement is another key factor here. Muchova isn't the fastest player on court in terms of raw speed, but her anticipation is elite. She reads patterns early, she positions herself before the ball even arrives, and that efficiency allows her to reach shots that faster players sometimes miss, simply because they react too late. Against someone like Eala, who loves to pull opponents wide and then hit behind them, that anticipation becomes critical. If Muchova sees the pattern early, and she usually does, she can neutralize that advantage before it even develops.